Got it. Spotlight. I look so short. Hi, everybody. When you see me, say hi. Tell me what you're working on. Tell me how your weekend was. It's Monday. When the shop opens on Wednesday, I always start to ask people how was their weekend and forget that the weekend was over already a couple days ago. Oh, this weather has been all over the place. I swear it's like a rain on Monday is just going to be a thing. Ah. Hi, Joyce. Hi, Lisa. Sherry, Marcina, Mary. There we go. Debbie. Hi, Mom. Diane. Debbie, last 5 rows of your daisy stitch. Ooh, I just got through that last night, I think. Yes. Melissa says, look, all the wonderful people. Yes, I love it. Hi, E. Hi, Sarah. I'm so excited to get to see some of you this weekend. Nicole, finish the body of the fireworks sweater, start the sleeves after I finish the snarkometer. I'm working on the strength within. Cool. Yeah, they're all working on good stuff. Well, it's a little after 7, so I will go ahead and get started. Welcome to Monday Motivation. Today is Monday, September 20th, 2021. Hi, Tammy. My name is Kristen. I'm the owner of the Little Yarn Shop in downtown Saginaw. If you're watching this live, please pop on, say hi, tell me what you're working on, whether it's knit, crochet, dinner, whatever it might be. If you are watching this after the live is over, please put in the comments that you watched the replay. I love to see that too. Joyce, privileged to be test knitting a sock pattern. Full skein mini skein sets. Oh, cool. Diane finished clue 4. You catching up? Excellent. So Diane mentioned that she posted a picture in our craft group. We have a group on Facebook called Craft Along with the Little Yarn Shop. And it's a great place for us to just kind of bounce ideas off of each other, ask questions, brag about our progress. So check that out. Donna working on a poncho for a Christmas present. Mom sitting in the yard by a fire. Awesome. Well, you must not have gotten the rain. We just got a downpour and then it got really cold and then really steamy. So just enough to make mud in the yard. So today, for those of you that don't know, Monday Motivation is every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Most of the time I am here in the shop. I finished a couple things, you guys. Terry working on the Define Drape cowl. So I always get confused. I just saw the little frowny face and I'm assuming that was about the fact that we got weird weather and the rain, but it always makes me like, oh no, somebody didn't like something. I know that's not the case because everybody loves me. Hi, Nicole. So I think I showed this last week. I don't know if I had it blocked. And I don't even remember the name of it. Real simple. Shawl, real quick shawl. I'm sure somebody will correct me, but I did do the tassels. I know I didn't have those last week because I was working on them. So it looks so stinking cute and I blocked it. Look at how cute it is. Takes 2 skeins of bulky yarn. What I used was cotton because not everything has to be out of wool. Earth, Galate, and dyed bulky cotton. 95 yards and 100 grams. So it took 2 skeins of this. You guys told me I should do the gray one. I was debating between the gray and the cream. Insta shawl. Thank you, Tammy. I knew somebody'd come up with it, but a really quick knit, drop stitches. This was definitely one of those times where having interchangeable needles was beneficial. So because the way the drop stitches are done is you knit into the stitch and wrap it a couple times. Inevitably, when you're trying to knit the next row back, it gets really, really tight. So dropping down a needle size or 2 on that left needle for the row back makes it a lot easier. Diane, did you get that pattern and yarn? I don't think so. I will double check, but I don't think you did. And I know I have a couple things here for you too. So I got that completely finished, blocked and everything. I finally got one crochet fingerless mitt done, mostly. Not blocked, ends not woven in, but it's together. This is the spikelet mitts. Those are crochet. I know it looks like knitting, but it's crochet. It's done horizontally, or would you say vertically? I don't know. You go back and forth this way and then seam it. But I can see it's a hand-dyed yarn. You can see the color and how it kind of pools around in there, much more on the screen than you can in real life. The yarn is, I want to say it's Malabrigo sock. I don't remember what color it was. Their grays are all a little bit different. So I was pretty excited. I got one done. I'm not going to promise the other one's going to get done anytime soon because I love crochet, but knitting. So that was the spikelet knits. I know Melissa posted a link, but there's a picture too, what they look like. Easy enough to make longer if you wanted to. You would just chain more at the beginning. As long as you had the right number of stitches, it's probably like just 2 in sets of 2 more you would increase for that little pattern design. I needed a quick little project inspired by a customer. Linda says, nice gloves. Thank you. Well, one. I have one anyway. I was looking for an easy, quick knit pumpkin pattern for a customer who's getting things ready for her daughter's baby shower. And she wanted to do some little knitted pumpkins. So I found this pattern called Knit Pumpkin. It's a free one on Ravelry. It's written for either super bulky or worsted. As is typical with free patterns, it's not explicit in its details. It's very abbreviated. I mean, it's not a hard pattern at all, but I got a little confused when I first read it until I actually slowed down and read what it said. But I decided I had some Rasta that would be perfect for this cute little, I mean, it's not little compared to the size of my head. It's smaller than my head, but still, it's pretty big. It's done flat. You kind of end up knitting it like you would knit a bulky hat. The benefit is you're not doing any decreases and you're not really seaming anything. You just kind of close up the top and the bottom. This one, because it's so thick, I just used the Rasta as its little stem. But I love it. Holly making crocheted ones, yes. So 1 skein of Malabrigo Rasta, like this was done in Solis. I love it too, because it kind of gives you a good idea of, in an easy form, what the yarn looks like knit up and in the skein, so you get a little bit of a better idea. But so fun. I had 2 other colors. I couldn't decide. I want to make more of these, and I probably will. But I think this color would look really cool. This is xylophone in Malabrigo Rasta. And these run $22 a skein. So if there's something you see that you would like, Either put it in the comments, what you want, how many, and whether you're going to pick it up or ship, or message the shop and I will make it happen. So that's xylophone. But then I also thought campfire would be really cool too. Got these blues and this like, well, it looks like a campfire, these bright orangey reds. I think either one of those would make such a cool pumpkin. Better than just your standard orange or yellow. I might do some of those too, but how cool is that? And so the super bulky takes one skein of this. If you did the worsted version, I think you could get a couple. I mean, I imagine you'd get 3 or 4 smaller pumpkins out of a skein of, like a skein of Rios, for example. Oh, so yeah, Diane, those are pretty. Yes, they are beautiful. So I finished that. I finished my Carbeth sweater. All my ends are woven in. You can tell I haven't blocked it yet because I still have tails hanging out. But I love, I need to back up. I have my camera up a little higher than normal today. Isn't that cool? It's done from the bottom up. So if you didn't want this big neck on it, it would be easy enough to shorten, just make a little mock turtleneck on there. But the way the shaping is, instead of doing a traditional raglan, you have this really cool shaping, the way you do the sleeves. Hi, Jackie. I like this. If you go on Ravelry, one of the things I like is that there are a lot of projects, so you can see what it looks like on a lot of different bodies. It is meant to be cropped. Again, it's knit from the bottom up. There is no body shaping, so it would be easy enough to continue to knit if you wanted to make it longer. But she also has a cardigan version, and then I believe she has one that's a little bit lacy. I feel like I saw 3 different versions when I was looking at it, but so that's Carbeth. The other day when it was chilly up at the campground, this is what I needed to have. So that's all the things that I finished. I am working on, I don't have much that I'm working on right now. I had to do a random Afghan block from a sampler for someone who just decided she couldn't fight with that specific block pattern anymore. So I got that done this weekend for her, but I am still working on my snarkle meter, and it's getting big, you guys. Isn't it cool? I love how this looks. And I don't have very many samples in the shop that are this shape, like just a long, more like a stole or a wrap than a shawl. But it's great for so many reasons. One, each row is not a bajillion stitches. And I like the fact that it's like a sampler, so I'm not getting bored. So this is clue 5 started here. So my little feathering fan was part of clue 4. And then I had this cool little texture, and then these little daisy stitches. And now I'm on to the last little slip stitch section. But it takes 4 colors and all 4 Holly. Did I add any extra rows like they said you could? I did not. Tammy, Harry Potter. I like Harry Potter better than CMU. People were saying it looked like CMU colors, which are pretty much the same as Harry Potter colors, right? I did not add extra rows. I would have under normal circumstances. If I was knitting it for myself, I would have. But because it's a shop sample, I'm trying to make it just the way the pattern is written. She does give you an approximate length for at the end of clue 4 how long you should be. Mine is actually a little bit shorter than what she says, surprisingly. But it's so fun. And it's Monday and I'm still not done with this week's clue, which I think is kind of fun too. I didn't just fly through it. However, I toted this bag around with me all day today. My husband and I ran some errands in Bay City and I thought, well, he's driving, I'll get in the car. Well, we took the Camaro and the T-tops were off. So it wasn't very conducive to knitting in the car. Lisa, thank you. I think it's beautiful too. And then my daughter and I went dress shopping for homecoming dresses for her. And I brought my knitting and thought I'm gonna have all kinds of time there too. No. I'm a mom of a new high school student. I mean, she's in 10th grade, but last year didn't really count. So it's bringing back memories. But if you are local in the Saginaw area, even if you're not, actually, I would recommend it. We went to a consignment shop called Take Two. It is on Davenport in Saginaw Township, in the city. It is such a cool place. It's owned by 2 women. It's local. It's she's got 3 big showrooms, well, 3 big display rooms of, one is all wedding dresses, one is all like bridesmaid, mother of the bride dresses, and then one is all formal, semi-formal dresses. Really fun to go in and look at different things. She has a Facebook page that she does a lot. She's trying to put more and more on there, but this woman she's rocking it out over there. I know just as well as any other small business owner, it's a lot of work. And right now she's working 7 days a week and it's prime season for her, but she's one of the few places that actually has dresses in stock. Victoria found 6 to try on. And we actually found a dress for her. It's the right length as long as she wears her big shoes, which she will. Yes, Melissa, I'll talk about what I'm wearing. Yes, I will. I promise. I was just talking about my knitting. So Victoria got a dress. I was very excited. And it was like $60, you guys. Like I had no idea because it has been 20 some years. And yes, Mom, it was mostly good memories. But I think I borrowed a lot of dresses too. So I didn't have an idea. Julie, I just heard she sewed her homecoming dress. That is fantastic. That is something to be proud of for her and for you. Okay, so what am I wearing? I am wearing the Brooklyn vest. It's a, I had my little thing here and now I don't. Let's see, is my tag on me still? Look at that. Brooklyn vest by Elizabeth Smith. It uses a bulky or chunky yarn, 680 to 950 yards. So it's knit. You cast on this direction, kind of like I was talking about with the fingerless knit, and knit across, split for your armholes, knit the back. I'm going to show you guys the back, but I do want to give the disclaimer that this has been hanging on a bar for a while by the shoulders, so it has grown. It is not supposed to be, it's not designed to be this long. So if you want it this long, either knit it looser or block the heck out of it. But it's got this cool little checkerboard pattern in the back. And it's really just a big rectangle with 2 armholes. And I know that there are a lot of patterns out there like this, but this one is really cool. I like how it comes down in the front. I like that you could belt it and have it that way, or you could have you could put a button or put a big pin on. It would look really cute like that. Look how adorable that is. So yarn, I used Queensland Brisbane. So it's 100% wool. And I love the twist on this yarn. You see that? It's tightly twisted. And a lot of people try this on all the time and it's worn really well. It's a tiny bit fuzzy, but not really. It's got good stitch definition, so you can see the little checks. And it only takes anywhere from 5 to 7 skeins. So I have a couple colors of it, and it seems like you guys like when I give you kind of special deals that people in the store don't get, people online don't get, unless you watch the live, or, well, you watch the live, but watch it after it's live, either way. So regular $14.99. Oh, Melissa beat me to it. $11 per skein if you want any. Again, 5 to 7 skeins, depending on what size. Mine is the medium, I believe, which took 5 skeins. If you want it longer, all you do is cast on more stitches, and you would need obviously more yarn if you want to make it bigger. So colors, I've got a peach, like an icy blue, a seafoam green, a beautiful red, a beautiful bright blue, black, gray, and tan. So just to give you a heads up of what's to come. And I've got enough for, depending on the size. So if there's a color that I show that you're interested in, make sure you put in the comments how many skeins you want and what color. That way we can keep track of everything and make sure I don't tell somebody they can have something that I don't have enough of. I did that once and Tammy saved my behind on that. Thank you, Tammy, again. So I had to take it off so I could show the little checkerboard on the back. And it's just knits and purls, the whole thing. Knits and purls, cast on, bind off, easily done. So let's talk colors. I'm trying to go in color in like number order this time, so it's a little bit less confusing. So color 101 is like the sandy brown. Beautiful. 10. I have to move my yarn for my other project that I'm going to talk to you guys about too. 102 is what I used, the silver. Oh, and so Melissa put in there 5 skeins for a 36 or 44 inch bust, 6 skeins for a 46 to 52, or 7 skeins for a 54 to 60 inch bust. So it's got a lot of leeway in there, especially because it's meant to drape open. It's more about how far apart your armholes are and how wide you want the back to be, essentially. So 102 is this gray that I used for mine. Love it. 103 is black. It would be beautiful in black. For those that don't have the greatest eyes, it wouldn't, it's not necessarily that much fun to knit with, and I think I finally figured out how to get my light to actually show real light. So that's 103. 108 is this beautiful red. I keep showing them upside down. Sorry about that. I'm used to Hanks being able to be hung by this side. Sometimes manufacturers don't do that for me. But this beautiful red, 108. This, they call it lapis. This is 115. It's like I don't know what, if you would call it royal blue. I feel like it's the color of sapphires, lab created sapphires, when they're that bright, brilliant blue. It's like, it looks electric. It really looks like that in person too. It's gorgeous. Heritage, this is a little sneak peek of what I'm going to talk about later, but Cascade Heritage has something that's almost the same blue. It's a little bit deeper, but cerulean, there we go. They just call it lapis. Pebble is this pretty sea foamy green. This yarn too would be great for so much more than this vest. I've had people knit Afghans out of it, or coverlets, sweaters. It would be a great sweater yarn. So what was that? That was Pebble 116. Petal 117. This pretty peachy pink. That one's not quite so accurate on there. There we go. There we go. That's peachy pink. Petal. And the last color, which is also a really cool color, is Icicle. This is kind of that pale icy blue. So compared to the gray that I used, you can see it's got that blue tone to it. I like them a lot. So I will go back through them again. I do have enough for at least one vest worth out of each color, depending on how many you need. There are a few that I could get 2 or 3 vest worth out of. So just know that. Again, regular $14.99, 100% wool. If you were not into this, but you were a felter, this would be really great yarn to do felted slippers, felted bags, felted purses, whatever else you wanted to felt. This yarn would be really, really good for that. I don't know why I never thought of that before. Diane, how do you decide on the color? That's a good question. Sometimes I think it's about what speaks to you in the moment. Sometimes it's about what you see. I know a lot of my customers it's much easier to visualize what I have in the shop as a sample. So it's easier to picture what that's going to look like. I would say I tend to go with neutrals, but not so much. That is with the gray, but I tend to I like brights. All right, so I'll go through the colors again. Tammy likes the red. Chris, wool. Yes, it is 100% wool, Chris. Okay, so we'll go through the colors again. The sandy brown, color 101. And I've got enough of this for at least 3 kits. At least 2 kits, depending on how many skeins you need. 102 is that slate gray. That is the sample color. And I've got enough of that for a couple kits also. Tammy, whatever is left. What does that mean? Oh, 103 black. Now for the rest of these, essentially I have 10 skeins. So depending on what you get is kind of, or what somebody else gets, you get a good idea. Hi, Cora from Virginia. Tammy wanted 6 of the gray. Oh, that's how you decide what color, whatever's left. Or Tammy wanted 6 of the red. So I've got 4 of the red left, but oh, it's such a beautiful red. And 115 is lapis. That's pretty. Tammy says cerulean blue. I say sapphire blue. They say lapis. So that is 115. 116, the pebble, seafoamy green. Tammy's 102, Diane 102, excellent. That's the gray. So that means I've got enough left for one more kit of 102, which is what that is. And number 117, petal. if you were going to do like an heirloom baby blanket where you weren't worried so much about it being drug around, washed and dried, that sort of thing, this would be either, well, any of these. So the petal, the icicle, or the pebble, any of those would be such great like heirloom blanket projects. 117. I know, right, Diane? 117 is gorgeous. This peachy color. I love it. That would make such a great sweater too. So many good things. And 118 is icicle. That's the icy blue color. Bev just got in. Hello. Well, I'm glad you joined us late, even if you didn't join us on time. Sometimes I understand other things take priority. So we did go through some colors. I can post after. I will try and remember to post the photos, how many stains I've got left, and the icicle, yes. For those of you that watch this after the fact, you're welcome to put in the comments if there are things that you're interested in. I do try and go back and check and keep an eye on the comments and make sure I try and catch everybody. Bev, so here's a question, Bev. She says she needs to pick yarn for the Stephen West knit along. Do you want me to show on the live and have people kind of give their input on what colors would look good? I pulled a few different options for you, and I was going to take pictures and send them to you tonight, but I didn't get that far. So maybe it'd be kind of fun if we could get other people's feedback on here, or it might be a little bit too overwhelming. So Bev, you let me know if you want me to pull the colors over here and see what people think. I'm happy to do that. Otherwise, we can take care of it after. So the knit along, that's the next thing. The knit along that Bev is talking about is October 8th is the beginning of Stephen West's annual fall mystery shawl knit along. So what do I know? It's called shawlography. It's going to be a unique shape, and it takes 5 skeins of fingering weight yarn, all in different colors. They can be subtle coordinates, they can be high contrast. He does recommend mostly tonal or semi-solids with some speckles in there if you want. So how does that work? Right now, if you purchase the pattern on Ravelry, whether you purchase it through the shop or purchase it on your own, you get an email with the PDF and you get it in your Ravelry library. Right now, it's just like a 3-page PDF giving you needle size, some yarn pairing suggestions, and I think there's a little thing on gauge in there too. He does say your gauge is in garter. I couldn't think of the word. So I imagine there's going to be a lot of garter, which is, he does a lot of garter stitch. Bev says she's in, so I'll grab hers in a second. But for every week for 4 weeks on Friday, starting October 8th, I'll chat while I walk. You can still hear me, even if you can't see me. He will release a portion of the clue. He will have links to videos. If you have a Ravelry account, you can go in and it'll tell you that your pattern has been updated, and you can click update and it will bring up that most recent information. If you don't have it that way, you should get an email with the updated a link to the updated PDF also. If you have purchased the pattern and or kit through the shop, well, purchase the pattern on its own or with a kit through the shop and don't start getting some of those updates starting October 8th, make sure you let us know, and we'll try and troubleshoot with it and figure out what's wrong. Okay, so Bev was looking at one of the kits that I put together last week that started with this beautiful speckly, ridiculous. Look at that. There's like this deep purple, the yellow, the reds. It's actually this color. So that gives you an idea of how it looks knit up. So mostly white with just some speckles in there. So that was kind of our starting point. Then I went through and added this butter yellow and this beautiful, it's called Cranberry Cocktail, Dreaming Color. I'm trying to get it up, you guys. I need a taller chair, apparently. Then I pulled this gorgeous purple. Look at that. Got little speckles of yellow in there, little speckles of orange. Look at how pretty that is. And Cinnamon Girl. So that was the kit that I put together and chatted about last week on the live. She wasn't sure about the red and she wasn't sure about the rusty cinnamon color. So I pulled this purple, Queen's Lake. That's one of the new ones. It's, I don't know, sometimes you get into these bluey purples, I guess would be indigo, violet, I don't know, somewhere in there. So then I thought, what if we took that rusty color out and put it in there? You still get some brights, some darks, some variation. The other option was this gorgeous, what color is this? Comparsita. It's a deep red. So if we took that red out and put that deep red in there, there's still enough of a difference between these two that even if they were next to each other, I think you would still see. It would be more subtle, whatever the stitch is, but you would still see the difference. So the three that we're sure about are these three: the purple, the speckle, and the yellow. So you guys tell me what you think between the dark red, the Queen's Lake. I need another arm. This is when I should have made Victoria come with me today. The Cinnamon Girl, which is that rusty orange, and Cranberry Cocktail. Tell me what you think. We're all about input. Bev, I will make sure that I text some photos to you, unless you see something that you really love, and then you can just tell me what you want put aside. But I don't know, maybe I just made things more difficult for you. Knowing that you like the blues and the purples, if it were me, what would I do? This is what I would do. But it's totally up to you. Yes, it is like a periwinkle. You're right. Diane said it's like a periwinkle color. Yes, it's one of the colors that are in the Dreaming Color kits from the Casapinka Knit Along. So you guys tell me. We'll keep an eye on that, see what you think. But E says this dark red. I love that too. Oh, so many choices, you guys. Sometimes I think I'm making things easier, sometimes not so much. Shawlography. Okay, Tammy. Oh, thank you for asking. And I know Melissa answered on here too, but Tammy asked if it was better to buy the pattern through the shop. And it is, in that if it's enabled for in-store sales, I get a little bit of a discount when I purchase it, quote unquote, wholesale and sell to you. It's a $7 pattern, or However, it works for that day because it's not in US dollars. So it has to be exchanged, which Ravelry does all that. You don't have to do any math, but roughly a $7 pattern, whether you go on Ravelry and purchase it yourself or you purchase it through the shop. I get charged by Ravelry a little bit less. So that helps a couple ways. One, it helps keep the lights on here. Two, it helps designers see what shops are supporting them. How many pattern copies of a pattern a certain shop sells, that sort of thing. Yes, as Melissa said, get a little street cred. Bev, oh good, the rust. Not a fan of the rust. Oh my gosh. See, that's what's fun about this. You get everybody's opinion. So that dark red, I want your opinions too. I have two different color groupings put together and I can't decide which one I want to do. And they are very different. One's neutrals and one is more, what do I call it? Dark, very fall tones. So the neutrals would all be with Juniper Moon Harriet Fine. So it is fingering weight, 461 yards of 75% alpaca, 25% polyamide. So all 5 skeins are the same yarn, base yarn, which would just be lovely. Last year at the retreat, I knit my, what I call my Tiffany scarf with the Swarovski crystals out of the black of this yarn, and I love it. So here is option 1 in the alpaca neutrals. So we get a little bit of the browns, a little bit of the grays, and honestly, I don't have, I mean, I have my night shift shawl up there. So let me see if I can show you without messing too much up. Up there it is, between those 2 shawls. But it's, I mean, it's grays, so it's pretty. Hi, Deb just came back in. You need me?
No, nobody showed.
Okay.
So I watched you and knitted, made some headway on my sleeve.
Excellent. Deb's working on hers on a sorrel. So what? No, I'm on live still. What? It's okay. No, I'm still going. So that's option 1. Option 2 is by started with this Myths. It's one of the new Malabrigo sock colors. I know we've talked about it before, but I got playing around with that, which is that same Comparsita, that dark red. This pretty forest green, that same rusty orange, and that bright blue. So tell me if you want me to do neutrals or if you want to see a sample knit up in this. What do you think? This one or the neutrals? I like that. Deb says the more colorful one. So we'll see. Maybe I'll have to make 2, but that would be really pretty too. So Lisa says she likes the neutrals. Well, while I wait for a little bit of feedback from you on that, I wanted to tell you, we talked a few times about the curly Q. Linda, now the rust looks great. Option 2, option 2, option 2, you guys. Oh, good. It's going to be the more fun one for me. Marcina, option 3. There is no option 3. I went back. So the third one I showed was actually the first one, the neutral. the colorful choice. Okay, you guys are pretty unanimous. So the Curly Q coverlet we've talked about. Deb's done a class. This is her sample. It's a circular throw. I did mine, and the way it's done is it's all short rows. Pretty much every row is a short row. So you'll be an expert at wrap and turns and picking up wraps by the time you're done with this. But the only thing you have to sew together is where you cast on and where you bind off. So I was at that point, and I think I talked last week about this, about wearing it as a shawl. That's right, I did. And somebody came up with the brilliant idea that based on the shape of it, because it's got this big opening, right, where I needed to seam it, how cool it would be as a tree skirt. I think that would be fantastic. Mine is big because it's heavy and I knit loosely and it's bigger yarn. But wouldn't that be cool as a tree skirt? Even if you did it, if you did these colors, use that as a tree skirt, which I started thinking, okay, well, I want it on the back of my couch at the camper, but that's only in the summer. So then in the winter, it could be a tree skirt. Brilliant. This is why I love that everybody sees things differently. Everybody's got different ideas about things. It's what one person sees, somebody else doesn't. So even if you didn't want a blanket, you could knit yourself a tree skirt. Okay, so I think pretty much everybody, I think there were a few people that liked the neutrals, but overwhelmingly you guys liked the more colorful shawl option. So that'll be out on the table here if nobody snags it before it starts, then I might do that. So Lisa says it looks like a Georgia O'Keeffe painting. That could be taken a couple different ways. I choose to take it as a compliment. But yes, Georgia O'Keeffe paintings are beautiful. A couple little housekeeping things to mention. Our retreat is coming up this weekend, Thursday through Sunday. Yay, can't wait. More people this year than I've had in the past, which is exciting and a little bit nerve-wracking for me, but it's going to be fun. And we've got gifts for people, and the shop will still be open the normal hours. So Thursday, Karen will be here at the shop while I'm out at Bayshore getting set up and welcoming everybody. Friday, I will be at the shop all day, and Saturday, Deb will be at the shop all day. So if you have yarn emergencies or needle emergencies, never fear, the shop is here. If you're coming to the retreat, the benefit of us staggering and still being open is that if there's anything you need from the shop, we can always bring it over. I will have kind of a little mini shop set up with notions, things like that. As a matter of fact, I have a huge box from my notions distributor sitting over there by the door. That will probably be tomorrow's project, but I'll have some good stuff. Cora, you're high maintenance. Funny, you're not high maintenance. So that's one thing. As such, there will be no Thursday knit night social knitting this Thursday because Deb will not be here and some of the girls will not be here. So if you are somebody that joins normally Thursday nights, make sure you make a note that not this Thursday. Sorry. If you don't know about Thursday nights, we do have kind of an open knit. They used to gather in the boardroom restaurant. Now that that's not open at the moment, because they do meet after the market closes at 6:30. Some of the people have taken to calling the food vendors early, asking them to drop off food here as close to 6 as possible. That seems to be working out pretty well. Normal Thursdays, 6:30 to who knows. And I've got a class coming up. Joyce is going to teach a class on, she has called it the Little Yarn Shopping Bag, which I think is awesome. It's a reusable market bag. It's 2 sessions, the class, October 7th and 14th. I don't have it on the schedule yet, so you can't go on the website and sign up to take it. But if you are interested, let me know in the comments and I'll make sure that you get on the list. So it's 1 to 3 p.m. on those 2 days, and you need to be there both days. It's $35. That includes materials, well, it includes the yarn. And it's teaching magic loop because it starts with a very small circumference, increasing from a very small circumference from the center of things. It's in linen yarn, so for a lot of people that's a whole new experience, which is kind of fun though for a market bag. And if you get to that point, Kitchener stitch. So keep that in mind. October 7th and 14th from 1 to 3. As usual, I keep my classes small, so there will probably be 6 spots for the class. She gave me a little cheat sheet here. That's what I'm looking at. Benefits. It's a reusable bag. It eliminates plastic, saves lumber and associated paper milling costs. And you can use it while you're shopping for yarn, so you don't take one of my bags, and help me save a little bit of money too. Plus it holds a lot of yarn. She says she's been making a couple of them. You might have seen them on the Finish Object Fridays. Lisa, I did get pear-shaped stitch markers. Yes, well, they should be. I ordered them, so hopefully they're in that box of stuff that I got. All right, you guys, I think that's it. I hope you have a good week. I cannot wait to see. I feel like maybe you just lost me. You tell me if you can still hear me okay, Melissa? Uh-oh. You guys I might have lost you. You good? Okay. Okay, good. Cora, you'll still be in Michigan. Oh, great. Awesome. So have a good week. For those of you coming to the retreat, I can't wait to see you. It's going to be so much fun. We're just going to knit, crochet, spin, weave in ends, bead, not do any of those things, and just sit someplace that doesn't require you getting up and cleaning and making food and answering to other people. So have a good week. I will see you all next Monday at 7, which would be the 27th. And hopefully I'll have some good info about next year's retreat, because we tend to set the dates right away. So I will see you all, if not before, next Monday, the 27th at 7 p.m. right here. And have a great week. Bye, everybody.